when I met my mom in Korea and starting to learn about, the quote unquote why I was relinquished for adoption. The range of characters involved, the people involved, starts to become more clear for me, because it isn't just this sort of isolated woman in the 80s in Korea who just couldn't take care of her child. There's a spirit of the times where, someone in the local church kind of like convinces her, how could you possibly take care of this kid on your own? Because my dad had passed away. There's no way you can do this, right? And you're in no shape socially to do this. You would really want to walk around as a single mom? No, the best thing for Hee-sung is to be relinquished for international adoption. He can grow up in America. His parents are there. They match some really nice Christian white parents, and that's going to be the best life for him. So the question is, where does that come from? And how do we address that, interrogate that, challenge that kind of status quo? And let's say, so that's like point A, the way the world is, just for example, for saying a story, the opening image is that. So the closing image, in one way, in a kind of a short-term story arc, is what could it be like for someone in that kind of position, where the people coming alongside her is saying, I can't imagine what the situation is like for you. Let me just sit with you first. Wow. And then second is, I want to help enlist or rally around with maybe even the local church or other folks in the community. Love your neighbor. And we want to ask, how can we make it easier for you to decide to parent this child, right? And I know there's like other pieces to this conversation, talking about like choice and all that, but for my mom, it was like the only choice for her was Hee-sung has to go to United States and be raised there. But for people in the local church to say, my goodness, what do you need? Do you need some like financial resources? Do you need food? Do you need childcare so you can go to work? And her family members also were part of that sort of, hey, we're not with you in this. So how can we increase that idea of withing, a very present help in trouble, and kind of reimagine how to care for this child also means caring for Oma, her, and just finding ways to do that, being creative. I mean, we're the church, we can be pretty creative. And that's the sort of like the closing image, that like the nuanced alternative is, we want to help answer your prayers to raise Hee-sung. If anything that you can do to help me, God, to keep Hee-sung so that I don't have to give him away, place him for adoption, would you reveal that to me, send people into my life to do that? Well, I think the church has a lot of people in it. So how do we re-understand this to make new stories come to life? Now, I'm only speaking from my personal experience, my adoption experience, and I know that there are many other situations represented here, but that's one of my entry points, my starting points when we're asking, what could we do differently?